Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks post-game podcast. Hawks beat the Panthers 5-2. I'm Jay Zawaski with Greg Boysen and Mario Tirabassi. We're all here. Steven's here. Stacy's here. Everybody's here after our awesome takeover at the United Center. Thanks to all of our friends out in Denver for getting that going. To Jake here for also helping us do it. It was great. We'll get into that a little bit later in the show. But the Hawks beat the Florida Panthers 5-2 at the UC. What a fun night, fellas.
Ton of fun. Had a lot of fun with everyone at the takeover event. And then we were treated to a very entertaining game. Blackhawks are 2-0 when CHGO holds a takeover event at the United Center. So, 41 home games, 41 takeovers. I think that's something that can be managed by the team.
CHGO should have its own suite.
Absolutely.
For every game.
I'm down with that.
We raffle off who gets to see.
Yeah.
Me.
I think that's...
We're technically in a suite every night.
It's true. We get the Mark Bergevin infested gummy bears.
Yes.
How were the gummy bears tonight? Were they
eat any.
violated?
I would not go anywhere near them.
Once
I saw Bergevin, I was like, nope, no gummy bears tonight. I'm only eating wrapped food.
All right. So first off, apologies for the delay, but I think you understand as we made our way back from the UC. Secondly, apologies because the three of us are a little bit slap happy right now.
They won 5-2.
This one could go off the rails a little bit. But make sure you smash that like button for us on the YouTube page. Subscribe to the YouTube page as well. If you're listening on the podcast, thank you. Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And make sure you are subscribed or following or whatever your favorite app calls for. And turn on those notifications so you know as soon as new episodes drop. That goes for YouTube and for the podcast as well. The first period was tremendous. I mean, the most fun I've had watching the Hawks in a long time.
Yeah.
And they end the period up 3-0. And what I loved about this game is that they had a level of focus from jump to come out of this game completely ready to go, completely everyone is working on the same game plan. Everyone was, positionally sound. They were up, 6-7-0 in shots on goal in the first period. They were taking it to the Panthers in the first. Now, we're going to get to the second and third as the show goes on, but you can see what this team can do when everyone is trusting each other, right?
Yeah.
This is what Luke talked about the other day with the Athanasiou play, where he looked over his shoulder and saw three bad options and decided to go with the one he thought was best instead of just sticking with his man and trusting his teammates. This game, especially in the first period, every Hawk was doing exactly what they were supposed to do, and Florida had no answer for it.
Yeah, I mean, we heard throughout the week since Monday how much the team wanted to respond from the performance against the Arizona Coyotes. You heard it this morning from a couple of the players, from Luke Richardson himself, about trying to get that bad taste out of their mouth from the game on Monday, and they absolutely came out ready to play from the jump. You get a snowball of goals in the first period, and it's kind of that we've been waiting for that kind of game where everything starts to go their way, and we thought Monday might have been the opportunity for that to happen. And it started off great. 30 seconds in, Connor Bedard scores. You're feeling good.
The rest not so good.
And then the other 59 and a half minutes not so great. But tonight's game, you get off to a hot start, and not only was it 1-0, it was 2, it was 3. You built off it. You didn't let up off the gas pedal until later in the game. But you were able to have that great start, to have the snowball of good things happen. And I think that this is a team that was needing something like that. We've seen short stretches of that play, times where they've come out to leads, been able to hold on to leads, win some games against teams they weren't expecting to beat. But in a game like this, where it's the first night of two tough back-to-backs, even at home, it's the Panthers, it's the Devils, two tough teams. To come out to the start that they have tonight and then be able to hold on to it and have a pretty sustainable effort for 60 minutes, that's a performance they needed.
Yeah, they've had their worst game of the year by far Monday.
Yeah.
And they respond to that with their best period of the season. After the first period,
Yeah.
Petr Mrazek bailed their asses out. So did a crossbar. And they just missed another one towards the end there that just trickled wide. But
We were right behind that, too.
Yeah.
And it was like,
I don't know.
That's going in. Oh, God.
I still have no idea how Barkov missed that shot he hit off the crossbar.
Very
I
close.
was like, I was ready to type, 4-3 or 4-2, whatever it was at the time.
I thought it was tipped by a stick, but it actually hit the crossbar. Yeah.
But yeah, an amazing first period. I don't think Luke Richardson could have asked for a better response to that shelling they got in Arizona.
Yeah.
They took it to the reigning Eastern Conference champions for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was enough to get a win. Then they got dominated for 40 minutes against the defending Eastern Conference champions and still won a game. So you take that. That's a victory. You play good enough to beat them and then good enough to hold on. They had a couple chances in that second period. Kurashev had that 2-on-1. Should have shot it. Instead, he waited to pass to Bedard. It wasn't there. Luke Richardson said it in his press conference. It's like anytime you're on a 2-on-1 and you have to slow down to make the pass isn't there. Shoot the puck.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they had the Taylor Hall, my guy, and Tyler Johnson had a 2-on-1 that Johnson, just missed too. So there were some chances there in the second, but
Well, and they scored.
yeah, they had the goal thanks to
That was huge.
Yeah, that thanks to the Panthers turnover and everybody kind of just like looking at it, and then Connor Bedard's like, okay, I guess I'm gonna go. Speaking of that goal, I don't know if you guys caught it where you guys were, but the coolest thing was he gets the puck, the crowd kind of rises.
Yeah,
like,
they
oh, that's
swells.
Bedard, he's
Yep.
got it, and then he gets into the zone, and while he's waiting to shoot, dead silence.
Yep.
Like it was just like people were just waiting, like. Boom,
was
and then
that wave.
Yep, it was like it was pretty cool to see that and feel that from the press box. But there are lots of positives to take out. I'm sure we'll get into these things. But Lucas Reichel, first point.
Hey,
Yes.
Looked
on whose goal?
His best game on Nikita freaking Zaitsev.
Just as we all thought.
Yes.
Nikita Zaitsev, by the way,
He had a wonderful game.
great game.
Yeah.
He also has one fewer goal than Erik Karlsson does this season.
There you
Suck
go.
on that, Penguins.
Yeah.
Well, wait till the end of the night. I'm sure Carlson will get
I
a goal.
just checked. There was 7-1. He does
Yeah.
not have a goal.
Well,
the
speaking
Sharks.
of Nikita Zaitsev, he is one of the candidates for our 4-star of the game, as voted by you, the CHGO audience. Our 3 options are Petr Mrazek, Nick Foligno, and Nikita Zaitsev. The 3 stars of the game, number 3 with 3 points, including the empty net goal, was Philipp Kurashev.
Great game
Your
from
number
him.
2 star with a goal, 2 shots on goal, a block shot, and a hell of a block shot. He left. I thought he was going to go down a tunnel in 2 penalty minutes in 16-19. That was Connor Bedard. And your number 1 star, fantastic game for Taylor Hall. A goal, 3 shots on goal, another shot attempt, a takeaway, 15:44 of ice time. That is the best he has looked all year in this game. Now, we'll see how he looks tomorrow against the Devils, back-to-back games coming off an injury.
Yeah.
But we didn't, he got hurt early in that Boston game. We didn't get to see a ton of Taylor Hall healthy. He was a possession driver today. When he had the puck, he carried it. When he didn't have the puck, he took it. He played a great game, and I think is certainly worthy of the number 1 star. So there's your 3 stars. Our 4-star options again: Petr Mrazek, who was outstanding, Nick Foligno, and Nikita Zaitsev. So get your votes in. We'll tell you the winner at the end of the show.
How the F was Petr Mrazek not one of the 3 stars?
I don't know.
Well, I think there is a temptation by the Blackhawks that anytime Connor Bedard does anything, he's going to get a star,
That's
so
fine.
they get the pop after the game.
Sure. Okay.
But Mrazek, I think maybe when the second goal went in, he lost that a little bit. He shouldn't have.
He shouldn't have.
38
You could argue they don't win this game without him.
They don't.
They don't.
Because
They-
the last
they
40
absolutely
minutes,
don't.
the
They
last 40
absolutely
minutes,
don't.
they just were
Yeah.
kicking you in the nuts repeatedly.
Yeah, he was the only reason for at least the back half of the game that it was that the Blackhawks were able to hold on to a multi-goal lead.
In the second period, the Hawks had 10 shot attempts. The Panthers had 36.
Jeez.
In the third period, the Hawks had 7. The Panthers had 14.
Yeah.
Final totals for the game. The Hawks had 35 shot attempts to the 64 for the Panthers.
They blitzed them in the first period, and they made the most of it. And then Mrazek had to stand on his head for most of the second and third periods to get through the game. And yeah, he should have definitely been deserving of one of the 3 stars. I would venture a guess that he's going to be our 4th star tonight.
Yeah, that's.
I would think so.
Easy one. And
even though Nikita Zaitsev might not ever get another chance to win, so
hats off to.
How do you take him out of the lineup now?
You don't.
Well, the other part of it too is I think that you could argue too that Wyatt Kaiser had a really good game too.
2 highest in
playing on his
fours.
proper side.
The 2 highest players on Corsi 4 percentage at 5-on-5 were Wyatt Kaiser and Nikita Zaitsev.
Yep.
Of course they were.
No one would have predicted that at the start of the game. Nobody would have. So good for both of them. You're not splitting up that pair tomorrow. So if Vlasik's got to come in, who do is it? I mean, it's probably Tenorti going to come out then.
Probably.
And you put Vlasic,
Back with Murphy.
Or put him back with Jones, or however you want to do it. Jared Tenorti made me nervous because he had a wide open look in the early third period, and it was saved. And I was like, oh, sweet Jesus. If Jared Tenorti and Nikita Zaitsev score in the same game, I'm going to the nearest church and lighting a candle.
We were joking.
Jay
like,
said
what's
in
the
the
parlay
stadium,
on
yeah.
that? Like, if
Plus
It's
1
not
million.
even an option because it would put any sports book out of business because it's the highest odds ever.
That's a bet you put $1 on every game just in case.
Yeah, right.
Just in case.
I was so nervous. I was like, oh my God. It's going to be like in the Batman movie where the stadium just like crumbles into the this is not going to be good for business. That should never happen.
I want to make this mention of Mrazek because I think he deserves the attention. These are his 6 starts this season. 39 saves on 41 shots, 33 saves on 36 shots, 37 saves on 41 shots, 40 saves on 43, 18 on 21, and 38 saves on 40 shots tonight.
The 18 on 21 was also coming in midway through the second period.
No. That was the.
Oh, that was
the Arizona one. He made 10 saves on 11 shots. No, the 18 on 21 was the Vegas OT
game,
win.
Yeah.
So outside of the Vegas game, which he still got the win in overtime, he's had an above 900 save percentage in each one of his appearances this year. Like, that's pretty darn good. And we talked about it coming into this season. If out of Mrazek and or Arvid Soderblom this season, if you got at least league average goaltending, this is a Blackhawks team that can hang in some games that sometimes they don't deserve to hang into. And I would say for about 35 minutes of this game, they were the lesser of the 2 teams. And Mrazek was the guy that kept them in this game. So, as much as we've kind of joked about him through last season and this offseason, like, he has had a really good start to this season. So I think that deserves some attention.
Definitely. We're going to hear from Luke Richardson in a minute here. I also heard, as I was stuck in traffic, doesn't usually happen when we're at games because we leave during the second intermission.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Atwhistle on the postgame show who had an interesting comment. But shout out to Cammie, who mentioned us in the chat. Cammie was working at Fifth Third Arena guarding the Mexican food. And as we got in our spot line, she's like, hey, I love your guys' show. We're like, oh, sweet. Great. Nice to meet you, Cammie. So
we met Cammie during training camp, too, I believe.
Oh, it might have been, yeah.
I believe. There can't be that many, people at Fifth Third that actually listen to us. So
who knows?
My guy's named Cammie, so I'm guessing it's her. Yeah,
who knows?
Well, thank you. We're going to get to your super chats as well. But first, we want to welcome our newest sponsor, Midtown Athletic Club. They've got 4 Chicagoland locations, Palatine in the Northwest Burbs, so you guys don't have to complain about going there. Bannockburn on the North Shore, Willowbrook in the Southwest suburbs, that one's for me, and the Midtown Athletic Club and Hotel in the middle of Bucktown and Lincoln Park. I'm not allowed there, not handsome enough. Midtown Palatine has just launched a multi-million-dollar transformation of the club. It'll be complete in early 2024, and our listeners can lock in favorable rates if they join before the end of the year. So if you're looking for a new place to work out in the Palatine area, Midtown is where you're going to want to go. It is an ultra premium spot to work out at. It is the nicest fitness club I've seen. There's lots of nice gyms around Chicagoland, but there's a reason that Midtown is the one that everyone talks about as the best and the coolest. They've got awesome features there as well. They've got yoga, they've got boxing, spin, and cycling. Go find yourself a spin cycle. Cross training, the theater for their group exercise, and they got the best tennis courts and programming in the sport. Midtown has indoor-outdoor tennis, pickleball. That's the new rage these days, I'm told.
Sounds like a place for Carm.
It really does. I'll bet Carm. I would almost guarantee that Carm is a member here.
I guarantee you that's how we got this.
Yes. They have paddle tennis, USTA professional quality all the way. Head over to midtown.com/CHGO to tour Midtown Athletic Club nearest you. Again, midtown.com/CHGO. Set up a tour. Go see what they have to offer. Yeah. Lots of great places to work out, but you want to be at the best. You want to make your health the best, you want to do it there. Midtown.com/CHGO and schedule a tour.
You know what the coolest thing they have is?
What?
They have a golf simulator in there.
Heyo.
That's cool.
That is the most incredible thing I've ever seen at a gym.
Steven, you should be on this side doing the
Jay, you want to switch spots?
Yeah, you're the one.
You're the one that people would
hours.
actually believe. You know,
Yes.
take the sweater off, show the guns off. They'd believe you go to Midtown.
Yeah.
I'm
the
not
guy
doing
who drives
this
by.
for
That place
obvious
looks nice.
reasons.
Oh, look, a drive-through.
They have a restaurant there.
They have like
They have food.
chia seeds and stuff.
No. There's like good tasting.
They got
food.
chicken tendies.
Maybe like grilled chicken tendies.
If you order off the kids'
I'll bring
menu.
my own breading.
Yeah.
Can you just sprinkle this on?
do
there?
the-
Mario's like, this is perfect for me. You're like, that's
Yeah.
not good for me.
Does the food court have anything dinosaur shaped?
What you're going to want to do is go to the frozen section of the Jewels.
The
There you
jewels.
go.
That's exactly right.
Hey, if you were going to place a bet on that Jared Tenorti, Nikita Zaitsev anytime goal scoring parlay, you know where you would have got the best odds and won more money?
Circa.
Circa Sportsbook.
Yep.
They are tight money line splits, low hold models. Games will strive to have a -110 split on the Circa Sports menu, unlike those other sports books that like to rip you off, which may use a -115 or a 120 split.
Jerks.
Circa Sports keeps as little money as possible on large market bets like futures, golf tournaments, etc., especially compared to those competing books. Circa does not limit players based on their winning either. Every player has the same limits, unlike other books who do limit winning players. I'm never going to have that problem, but that's okay. It's nice to know it's there in case I get on a hot streak. They encourage bettors to download and explore all sports the betting app has available and compare lines from each sports book. And the thing that puts Circa over the top is their customer service. They have real people behind the Circa Sports brand who resolve issues in a timely fashion, unlike those other books that use dreaded chatbots. Chatbots suck. They're the
No
worst.
chatbots. Get outta here.
No. All aspects of the app are being run by the same team that runs the main Circa Sportsbook at Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. So download the Circa Sports Illinois app at circasports.com/Illinois-app. That's www.circasports.com/Illinois-app to sign up today. Also be on the lookout for Circa events and watch parties and tailgates. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER, text GAMB to 833-234 or visit areyourreallywinning.com.
All right, so
their disclaimer
let's
is
knock
so
out these
much
super chats real quick so we don't lose track of them.
Yeah,
We got a
let's
huge
knock
one we
them
have to acknowledge. Thanks to Steven, who is out there with us today.
Great to meet Steven.
$150. He says, guys, what a great event. Really nice to meet you. You do such a great job. I asked Mario after Zaitsev's performance, who are you going to get on this week?
Yeah, I said, who are we going to rag on for a week so they score in their next game?
Lucas Reichel.
Perfect.
Wait, we've done that already.
Yeah.
We're going to get to him because I know Luke Richardson mentioned him specifically.
He did.
We've got Young Danglegod on brand as always. Says maybe we'll re-sign Kaner before the show starts. We'll have plenty to talk about. Gives us his dollars he does all the time.
Appreciate it.
And Kazmir Kanabraki says with a 220 super chat, +3 tonight with a goal in 13 minutes. Guess who? Yep, that's Nikita Zaitsev.
All-star Nikita
I see what you
Zaitsev.
did there with the 220.
Yeah,
Nicely
that's
done.
pretty good. We had another one as well from Kylie. Sent in, says, thanks guys for always being here after games. I'm a season ticket holder that lives in Milwaukee, so I love listening to y'all on the ride home. Thank you, Kylie, from a fellow Wisconsinite.
It's Algonquin for the good land.
It is.
Get home safely, Kylie.
So
Home
before-
state to the two best college hockey programs in the country. Anyways, Blackhawks.
I didn't know Boston was in Milwaukee. Or Denver. Post-game show. I was listening on the way in, and Mackenzie at Whistle,
right now.
Sky Point, to his family, thoughts and prayers. He was on with Troy and Joe Brand, and one thing he said that stood out to me was, we have to learn to play with a lead.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really interesting because it's something they haven't really had much of an opportunity to do this year. Yep. There were a few games, but that's true. Like, for those of you that have followed like fancy stats for a long time, there's something called score effects. And anytime a team is down, they're going to start coming at you harder to try to get in the game, to try to even the score, to score more goals, all those sort of things.
Ice tilt.
You have to learn how to absorb that. And I said to Mario during the third period, like, it really looks like the Hawks are trying to not lose this game. They're very passive. I almost feel like Florida scoring that second goal was almost a good thing because it caused the Hawks to be a little more aggressive defensively and try to at least move the puck. They were so content to ice the puck up 4-1. And like, you get why, right? Of course. Like, we got a 3-goal lead. It's third period. Let's protect this thing. But damn, like, they were so passive to start the third. I almost felt like that goal from Tkachuk was a good thing because it kind of got them woken up a little bit and said, all right, now we're kind of up against it and we've got to push back a little bit.
Yeah, Luke Richardson said during his post game that, like, he loved the first period. Second period, it got sloppy. Third period was not great, but he did say at the end of the game that grit and came back. Like, they really started. They started laying out. They started, fighting harder in board battles, not giving up position on the ice as easily. They had to hold on there, but I mean, even when they were up 4-0, first intermission was 3-0. I was like, "There's no way it's going to be this easy tonight."
No,
there's just no way.
No shot. And they knew that too. I think
Florida's too good. The talent gap that we talk about almost every game is still quite large, and you just knew Florida wasn't just going to lay down. And they were super fortunate to be up 4-0 after that second period. It could have very easily been 3-3. So yeah, they hung on there at the end. Like, it got hairy there for sure. But that's an interesting point by our guy Mackenzie about got to learn how to play with a lead. But Jay, you're 100% right. How many times have they been outside of that Toronto game?
In that 28 seconds, remember that?
Yeah,
Let's live in that time.
The good fun few seconds, and like, they haven't had that.
Well, I was looking at it. The Pittsburgh game, they scored the eventual game winner like 4.5 minutes left in the third period. The Toronto game, they had basically a half a game of holding on to the lead, and they extended it throughout the game. The Arizona game, that 1-0 lead lasted about a minute, maybe.
They scored first in the home game against Vegas, but that didn't last long.
Yeah, and their other win was an OT win, so they didn't. I mean,
which they had a lead in the third period and couldn't hold.
Right. So yeah, the getting out to a multi-goal lead and being able to play with that and learn how to do that. That's something that this specific group hasn't had a lot of time to do. It's early in the season, but still, like, you get to 10 games in, you'd hope to, no matter what team you are, you'd hope to have a few games where you're playing with the lead and getting that experience. But the more experience they get with that, and the more times they come away with successfully holding on to leads, whether it's by building on goals or by, packing in the house and protecting a lead, whatever way you do it, the more times you do it successfully, the more confidence you can build. And I think that's one thing that this team can do is build upon these kinds of performances. And yeah, it didn't look great for the second half of the game, but you still come away with a win.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the really great teams do. When they get out to a lead, they don't stop. They keep doing what they did to get that lead. They don't just say, all right, that was a good first period. We're up 3. Let's just dump and chase the rest of the night and hope they don't score. They go, screw it. Let's go get 6. Let's look at Colorado did against the Black. They don't let teams back in. And you have to be a very talented team, and you have to be more of a veteran team. Hopefully a few more games like this, and they learn and say, hey, remember what happened in the Florida game? We almost gave that up. Like, we can't get passive here. Do what we did that got us the lead.
All right, we've got 320 people watching, and we have 180 likes. Something's not right there.
I'm no math major, but that don't check.
Smash that like button for us. You don't know how helpful that is. for our awareness, for our numbers, for all the things we need to grow ourselves as a podcast and grow ourselves as a brand. Please get in the habit of every time you're in a YouTube video, really for anyone, to smash that like button, but especially for all the CHGO shows. Do we want to hear from Luke right now?
Smash the like button for this table that we finally get to use.
That's right. We get the pound table. Should we hear from Luke? Yes?
Sure.
All right, here's Luke Richardson about what? Half hour ago.
Our Blackhawks shot and pick back. What part of you is happy? What part of you is wincing?
Yeah, you know what? I think he was just in that awkward spot, like 10 feet away, where it's going to probably hurt a little more. But you know what? Did all the right things. He stayed in the lane, and that's a big, really lifted our bench. Like to see a young guy do that, and it just kind of solidified a solid game by him. Scoring a really nice goal to give us a little extra cushion going into the third, but also, being in the right spot in the D zone to do that. So I didn't see him after the game with an ice bag, so hopefully he's good.
What worked so well in the first period?
Just our jump. I thought we talked about it. We said, let's not worry about tomorrow. Worry about do all business today. Let's get the job done. And I thought it really matched that excitement in the national anthem and the start of this game in the building with our home fans, and we haven't been here that much yet this year, so I think we really took a couple good days rest, hard practices, refocused after last game, and played a really solid first period, and you know what, I think we got sloppy in the second period, but then they found a way in the third just to block shots and grind it out and correct a few things, enough things to get the job done. Obviously great goaltending as well.
Bedard had his feisty moments tonight too. He got engaged a couple times. It's kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I thought Kurashev had a great game too. And I thought Kaiser was into right into the mix battle and right to the end. And it's good to see they're obviously feeling comfortable at this level in this league to battle with the men that they're playing against. And I think that shows maturity, and they're all in with the team. It's not just about the flash, it's about a little bit of the sometimes rolling cups up and get into it and get that win. Sometimes it's a little dirty.
Are you encouraged by the early bounce back wins you've had this year, whether it was Montreal, Boston, Arizona? And what does that do for some of the young guys to make sure they're channeling that energy the right way?
It is. Now I want to see it go the other way. I would like to see us to build momentum off of the win, not react just after a tough loss. I want to see us react after a good win or even a tough win, and make sure that we try and extend that and keep those highs on a little bit longer. And I think we've done a good job, like you said, on the lows to keep them short. But I'd like to see us extend the highs, and that's where we got to grow some, a little bit of maturity in our team. Not just young guys, like all of us together as a group to be consistent in this league is hard, and I think you got to push through that and find it somehow.
Do you know what Perry was jawing with Stolars about?
He just wanted to go pick his stick up, and I think he kind of stood his way to give a shove, so Perry said I shoved him back. And he punched me, and I punched him back. And it was like a schoolyard kind of antics. I just heard him telling someone else about it. So he's not going to take anything, and he's probably stirring it up at the same time under his breath out there. So that's good. That's what he does best. He gets under the other team's skin, and he can play his game by doing
it. Looked like Reichel was more confident tonight.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with the wing. I think he just, he decided like he was dominant, and he really skated with the puck and took it to the net. And even on Zaitsev's goal, I think, he had a really good line rush there. And then Kurashev picks up the puck and made a really nice play, and there was a nice shot. But he did it a couple times tonight. And in the third period, the most impressive thing was his wall work with his stick to get pucks out at the blue line just by the penalty box, and that goes a big way. That lifts the bench up because he's doing the right things, and when it was time to skate, he skated, and when it was time to battle, he battled. So I really liked his game tonight.
With Mrazek, he's faced a lot of shots so far. Is this encouraging, just him being healthy and strong and starting the year off like this?
Yeah, and I think at times we had a couple big blocks, but when we needed him, he's been great all year, and I think. Just keeping it smart. Sody's going to probably play tomorrow, and he had lots of work tonight, so he'll get a day tomorrow to rest, hopefully, and the next day as well. So I think that's probably smart with both of them, especially Peter with his history, and I think it's keeping him strong by doing that.
Not to bring up a negative highlight reel tonight, but is the third period the most important one for you?
I think the start, and then the grit at the end. So I think you need both. I think you need we had a fast start, and I thought we really skated well and took it to them in the first. But they're a great team. They went to the Stanley Cup Finals for a reason, and I thought we found our game in the third enough to make the right plays in the strong areas. And Peter gave us some good goaltending as well with a few big blocks at the end. So I liked the grit at the end, but I liked how our determination, using the energy in this building to start the game.
Did you think about calling a timeout after the second goal in the third?
No. I just always take a few minutes just to look to make sure there was no interference to the goalie, because these guys are a big team and they play around the crease well, and there wasn't. So I thought the guys were saying the right things. Buckle down. Don't panic. Just do the right thing. So I really didn't have to say too much, and I think that's a sign of good leadership, and I've seen it all year. So that was good.
Do you think one of the things a young team has to do is, when it's up 4-0, to continue to press put the kill shots down?
Yeah, no, for sure. I thought we had, I think Krushy had that 2-on-1 with Connor, and he tried to slide it through to Connor. I think that when you have to slow down on a 2-on-1 and stick handle a bit, I think that makes your decision automatic. That's a shot. The pass isn't there. Don't force it. We had a really nice chance with Taylor and Tyler Johnson, and it just missed. So we had opportunities. I think we had some really high-end opportunities in the second, but we just gave them too many easy ones by not getting pucks out of our zone. Maybe losing a man on the line rush against, and then too much D-zone time, so you get tired. So that it was a little frustrating. It seems like sometimes that becomes contagious when one line does it. We talk about it on the bench, and the other line knows it, but it says it on the bench. But then they're trying to make the right play, and then it becomes a turnover, and it just seems like it multiplies. So that's where we have to snap out of it quicker. Tonight was just a little too long in that area, and with good goaltending and some good bounces, we stayed ahead of them in the second period.
Paul Reese was saying you got to be really careful with your transition game. How much was that a factor, and did they make adjustments to it?
Yeah, I think they switched their lines up, but we pretty much kept our matchups with Barkov and the Lindell line as well. But I think for us, I think we talked about them. They're an opportunistic team. They will stretch and kind of flip pucks over ahead, and they did it quite a bit in the playoffs last year. It worked well for them. And if we turn the pucks over at their blue line, or we don't get it out at our blue line, they're really good. And I think that's where the game changed in the second period. We gave them a little bit, but they're obviously a good team. They ramped it up. They weren't happy with their first period. So I think it was a little bit of a combination of both, of them making alterations in their game and us maybe faltering a little bit in the second, but we made some adjustments, and not so much adjustments. I think we got a little bit more determined in the tough areas, just leaving our zone and going into their zone. I don't think we had enough shots in the second half of the game, so we'll talk about that, and we'll work on that to try and keep that a little more consistent. Our offense, I thought it was excellent in the first period, so we want to try and build off of that.
Thank you, Luke.
Luke Richardson, post-game. Thanks, Luke.
Cameo from John Steinmiller there at the end.
As always, that means everyone else shut the hell up.
Get out.
Luke is going home. What stood out to me, there's a lot of good stuff there. So much of it good. Man, every second was just one after another, great point after great point. Love listening to him. But the stuff about Reichel, where he says, I don't think it has anything to do with the wing. I think he decided he was going to be dominant. When it was time to skate, he skated. When it was time to battle, he battled. I really liked his game tonight. I think that there's... I think, though, not that I want to disagree with Luke, because he knows a lot more than I do, but I think that when you take a whole bunch of crap off of Lucas Reichel's plate, that he's more willing and he's more comfortable. Not to say that, here's what I'm trying to say. I don't think that Lucas Reichel decided to not play as hard when he was playing center. I think Lucas Reichel was saying, I have 17 things to think about right now, so I'm going to think about all of them. Oh, yeah, I should probably skate harder, finish my checks or whatever. Today, he just played the wing, did what he was comfortable with, and played his game and was able to and more comfortable being aggressive.
Got to be instinctual.
I don't think with Lucas Reichel, it's a desire thing. And I think sometimes, he's a little bit soft-spoken. There's a language barrier. He's not the biggest guy in the world, so a lot of times people equate hits with enthusiasm. It's not necessarily the case, right? I think that Reichel just felt a lot more comfortable in his role tonight. I'm still not totally willing to pull the plug on him at center because I think if you can figure him out at center, you've really got something good going down the middle for years and years to come with Bedard and Reichel, and then who knows what happens with Nazar and Moore, where they end up playing. But he was clearly more comfortable, clearly more confident in this game.
It seems more natural for him to play on the wing, and I think that brings that extra motivation to put out the kind of effort that he did tonight. And again, yeah, not to say that he was withholding effort playing in the center position, but you take a guy where he has seen success at the NHL level as a winger, and then he plays center and he's not seeing success. That does something to a player. That'll be like, hey, I've been able to do this in a different setting. Mm-hmm. I believe there is the drive from him there to be great no matter where he's playing, whether it's a wing or at center. But I think it's just the ability to feel comfortable in the position that you're in. That can sometimes lead to just feeling comfortable, more natural. The game flows better in those positions. So I think the what was it, 15 points in 22 or 23 games last year. Yep. Played primarily at wing. 0 points through 9 games this season as a center. First game he plays as a wing, he gets his first point as of the season. I think that sure, there's probably a little bit of a correlation there, but it's not necessarily all tied to him playing wing. But I think the comfort level, the confidence, that can also feed into the drive of a player. So I don't think it's, like you said, I don't think it's entirely on the fact that, he wasn't trying as a center. I think it's just sometimes that those efforts can go a longer way when a player feels more comfortable, more confident.
Ryan says he can hear Big Dave in this stream. Yes. It is difficult to concentrate. When
imagine hearing it not through the microphone.
Yes, we hear
in a soundproof room.
Right.
Yes.
I hear Big Dave more than I hear Mario. Mario's sitting right next to me.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what? They got mediocre basketball. I'll be mad about.
Only the Bulls.
Less than mediocre.
But with Reichel, I think we talked about it a lot. We said a lot regarding Kirby Dach.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got to let the hockey player just be instinctual. Use his instincts. Do what got you there in the first place. A hockey player thinking on the ice is not what you want.
Toast.
You need a player who's just reacting and playing off his instincts. A guy out there thinking, is it this guy I need to get? Is it this guy I need to do? I need to force. Blah, blah. It's the second you think, plays behind you. It's over. So,
right.
Not that he was awful.
No.
And
he held his own defensively, but then the offense has completely disappeared.
Much better defensively than I ever expected him to be playing that position.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, he looked like a kid that was just like, I'm going to go out and play a hockey game tonight. I'm not going to worry about any of these other things that are new to me. Just going to go do it. And he was great.
Yeah, he was good. A bunch of other stuff to get to before we wrap up. But we want to remind you, we've got one more tailgate to go. It is a week from Sunday. A week from Thursday. Bears, Panthers, the battle for the number 1 pick. Blah.
Well, the Bears own the Panthers pick.
Right.
So they literally can't
Shut
lose.
up. Just trying to do the read. You know what I
They
mean?
literally can't lose.
For whose pick it might be.
Let's go. They should agree before kickoff to just settle for a tie.
0-0. Let's just take a knee and go get some
87 punts.
Yeah,
Let's
go
do
get
it.
some bacon.
Panthers
for
have
us.
everything to play for, and the Bears, they can't really lose.
Hey, but Montez Sweat got $100 million, so that's cool.
Yep, that's always good to see your GM
You can buy
with foresight.
He can buy a few tailgate tickets with that kind of money.
Oof. Anyway, you should do that because then you could join us for our final tailgate where X Golf will be giving away $200 gift certificates to any of their Chicagoland locations. It's an awesome place. It is like of bougier Top Golf. Not take anything away from Top Golf, but X Golf is a level
It's a little nicer. It's like
upgraded.
the Midtown Athletic Club of golf.
There you go. Absolutely. And I think I'm allowed in X Golf.
Yeah,
We'll
sure.
see.
Why not?
We'll see if they turn me away. Sir,
Could put on one of those new CHGO golf hats that may or may not be dropping later this week.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have tweeted it out that so early. Anyway, visit playxgolf.com/Chicagoland. And by the way, if you do want to attend any of our diehard events like we had tonight, our United Center Takeover, which was awesome, we need to make, I know it's too late to do it for the Chelios night, which we're doing in February, but every time we have one of these, we got to have that Fifth Third Arena experience. That was a ton of fun. Awesome. That was so cool. Yeah. Like, we're there every day. We see the locker room every day, but I was so impressed with that event.
Yeah.
They had great food from Chicago Taco Authority there. You could skate. You could tour the locker room. And what I liked about it was everything was real, like, loose. There was no, like, we're taking a group of 10. Everyone follow me. You could just kind of explore the whole building. It was really a great time. So even if you're going to a game this year on a weekend, look into that Fifth Third experience. I don't know what it costs normally, but it is worth it. Do it once in your life. Check it out. It's really cool. But the other things you get being a diehard, it's not just 20% savings on our events. You get a free t-shirt or hat upon sign up. And again, hats will be available soon. Of course, access to all of our great premium written content like the Rebuild Report and Blackhawks Beat. Speaking of that, Mario wrote about Kevin Korchinski today. So make sure you check that out at allchgo.com. All of our great merch, a members only Discord page, free shirts, like I said. It's so great. It pays for itself. You go to a couple events, and it's totally worth it. And most importantly, it keeps us going. Yeah. It keeps us afloat. It keeps us happy. It allows us to do more and bigger things when you become a diehard. So please do, allchgo.com.
Yeah, and the tailgate should be a ton of fun.
Yeah,
I know if there's usually delicious food there. The tailgates that I've been to this year have had delicious assortments of barbecue, which have been great.
Firewater, yep.
Yes, Firewater barbecue. Couldn't remember it. But yeah, delicious food and delicious drinks provided to you by the Goose Island Beer Company. They have been the proud beer sponsor of us here at CHGO for a while, but not as long as they have been Chicago's beer, which started in 1988. And they have a tremendous year-round roster of beers for you to choose from and enjoy, including the Full Pocket Pills, the everyday beer that Goose Island beer brewers are drinking, the entire family of Beer Hug IPAs. You also have the 312 Wheat Ale, the golden cans, their staple of their year-round roster. And it is going to be Christmas time pretty soon, so the Goose Island Christmas IPA will be hitting the shelves very soon. And, of course, bowl season and hawk season underway. And you can enjoy the West Side Ale, the Bull and Goose, celebrating the Chicago Bulls. And you can also have a Blackhawks Pale Ale, celebrating the Chicago Blackhawks. You can get
today.
You can get there were plenty of them enjoyed today by us here at CHGO and our CHGO Takeover event. You can grab all of these and more ultra fresh brewery exclusive beers at Goose Island's original brew house on Clybourne Avenue in Lincoln Park. Or you can go to their tap room on Fulton Street in Westtown. Again, that's the Goose Island Beer Company, Chicago's beer. And you can also get delicious Goose Island beers at the Hockey Barn Bar, that's where we had our happy hour before today's festivities.
That's a great joint.
It's awesome. I'm
so happy it's there.
The absolute place to be for hockey fans in the city of Chicago. Hopefully we can do a couple more events with them this season. That'd be a lot of fun. It's a great place. It's the old Ogden location. So if you're familiar with the Ogden on Ogden, funny how that works. It is now a full-fledged hockey bar with
Zamboni,
half a Zamboni, with Chris Chelios jerseys from his most illustrious stops in Montreal, Chicago, and Detroit.
No Thrashers,
not
jersey.
Atlanta.
Lame.
And Jay's favorite video game, kind of.
Yeah, they had the Midway 2-on-2 Open Ice Challenge, but it was like a ROM version, like an emulator, and it was a little bit laggy. So I was only able to play 2 periods against Bob Corkum and Paul Correa of the Anaheim Ducks, and 4-4 tie.
Okay.
Yeah, Corkum. I barely know him.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if he failed as a hockey player, he's got the perfect name for a winery.
There you go.
Perfect.
Exactly.
That is true.
But yeah, check out
a winery where you pour your own bottles and put your own cork in.
You cork them.
Yeah,
Cork
but
that
the barn is not a sponsor, but they should be soon. And they're located right on Ogden between Adams and Monroe.
Yeah, perfect pregame stuff. Good food.
Truly a spot for hockey fans. It's not some kind of like whoever the people that run it clearly know the game.
Yeah.
The decor is awesome. There's a little too much Red Wing stuff in there for me, but that's
It's
okay.
original 6.
We'll let it fly.
It's a very original 6 bar.
There was
for
a nice Mario Lemieux photo in there that I appreciated too.
Yeah.
Though. So it's a cool place.
The cocktails are great.
Yep.
Drink list is good. You had the pizza. How was the pizza?
Pizza was good.
Pizza was good.
Yep.
Tasty.
I ordered the poutine, which comes with barbacoa on top of it, and it was a healthy serving of poutine.
That was a lot of food.
It was a lot. It is a shareable app. It is not a single serve poutine unless you really try. But it is a shareable. It is delicious. The fries were like steak fries, very good. Yeah, check them out. They're great.
Good stuff. And the chicken tendies were good. I stole one of Emma's. Delightful. You know, can we talk about Corey Perry?
Please.
Because there was a moment in this game where I looked at Mario and I go, how much is a replica Corey Perry jersey? Because I think I want to get one a little bit for the bit, but also it's going to be a fun memory to look back on and remember because you want to talk about that's our Pudwack on display tonight. That was it. Getting into it with Stolarz in front of the net. There was a moment in the third period where he accidentally fell on someone. Like he just kind of skated backwards like, whoops. Like, oh, I fell over. You know, it's pulling the Austin Powers on him. It's just so much more fun when you've got a guy in your team like that.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, at 38 years old, he's a pretty damn effective hockey player.
Yeah. Like he's not out there as a detriment to the team. He's out there point producing, which is not something we expected from him. And he's also out there mixing it up and getting the team into games, getting the crowd into games. It took one home game for him to be absolutely accepted into the Blackhawks fan base.
Exactly as I predicted.
And even tonight it was, he gets into it with Stolarz and the crowd is just, electric behind him, even though he got the stupid penalty. The Panthers Pudwack themselves out of a power play, and then the Blackhawks score at 4-on-4. So it all worked out according to plan. But yeah, he's a great guy to have on this team. He is absolutely serving his purpose as the crafty, under the skin veteran. And I think it's a role that a lot of teams try to replicate in this league of having the veteran who can, protect players, be a leader in the locker room, be a leader on the ice, and not be a detriment. And there's very few players that can fill that role. And Perry is a guy that, even though he's, kind of bounced around from team to team later in his career, kind of cup chasing, he still can fill that role.
Well, yeah, there's a reason at 38 years old teams still want him.
There's a reason Lou Richardson said, go get me him.
Exactly.
That's pretty much what happened.
And the Blackhawks said, here's $4 million.
And he's got like this good personality that you didn't know about because, you spent all those years as a fan just rage hating him and hoping bad things happen to him.
Yeah,
and he earned that.
Don't search my Twitter and Corey Perry.
Please don't. Please don't. There's probably
do that myself and see what happens.
Not good. So
I think the word puke is on there a few times.
Yeah, there's a few unflattering words I'm sure I used. But like we saw it if you watch the first episode of every shift that he not good.
Yeah.
Where like he's
reminder that Corey Perry is a piss baby. November 27, 2017.
No, shut it down. This is gonna be a whole bit this week. We got an off day on Monday. This is gonna be a whole bit.
Can I do one more?
Sure.
January 17th, 2014. Corey Perry is our gargantuan Pudwack.
But now he's our gargantuan Pudwack.
Yes.
Oh, Lordy,
9-year-old bit.
I did this the other day, and I'm going to apologize for it right now, but I believe I referred to him once during the Western Conference Final as a skid mark on the underwear of life.
I think you would take that as a high compliment.
Yes.
Well, that's him doing his job.
That's absolutely his role. Yep.
We saw the personality come out to him, and we had a fun moment Friday in practice. That was yesterday, right? Yeah, that was yesterday.
That was yesterday.
No idea what day it is
10
anymore.
years ago.
We all walked into the room. It was they had a team meeting right after practice, so everybody got off the ice at the same time. So it was one of those rare moments you walked in and everybody was there. So it
Didn't
kind
have to wait for the kids 45 minutes.
So it was kind of caught all of us off guard because we're usually walking in. There's only like 3 guys. We got to wait, and we all kind of walk in. And Perry's got one of the first stalls when you walk in and turn to the left, and he kind of looks around and he's like, Look at them trying to figure out who they're going to bother today. Like, who haven't I asked a question to yet this week? And he was right. But he's
been around media for a while.
Yeah, he's a good dude, and I take back every mean thing I've ever said about him.
Yeah, until he goes to another team. Windy City Hockey with a $2 super chat. Corey, the Pudwhack Perry. There you go.
There you go.
Yes.
I like that.
That's our Pudwhack. That needs to be a shirt.
We got to start using the hashtag.
I did.
THOP.
I did.
Yep.
THOP?
Or TOPW.
PW?
That's it. TOPW. It's late. Leave me alone.
TOPW, HOTR.
Yeah.
Well, all the acronyms.
Yes. All right. I think it's time to call it. It is a runaway for the 4-star of the game.
Throwing the damn tower.
Your nominees were Nick Foligno. Nick Foligno, Petr Mrazek, and Nikita Zaitsev. And your 4-star of the game is voted by you, the chat, who needs to smash the like button even more. Petr Mrazek.
Oh, there's no symbol on that?
There you go. He's your 4-star of the game. Outstanding in this one. Absolutely terrific.
Yeah.
Stopped 38 of 40 Florida shots. Just really a great game for Petr Mrazek, and he's had a really good season. Yeah. It's very interesting.
So long as his groins hold up.
Yeah.
It'll knock on wood. Yeah. It should bode well for him for the team, and it'll be interesting to see if he can stay healthy, if he can keep this up throughout the season. It'll be interesting to see what the play is with him. If there's a team looking for goaltending towards February and March, or if the Blackhawks say, "Hey, we appreciate all your efforts. We'd love you to stick around and stick it out." We'll see what happens.
It'll be an interesting thing. They definitely look if this is the Petr Mrazek we get all season, and he stays healthy. Some playoff team is going to need another goalie down the stretch.
Edmonton.
If Edmonton had Petr Mrazek, they'd be a lot better than they are right now.
Mrazek for McDavid. Who says no?
I mean,
he's all hurt. I mean, McDavid's hurt. He's damaged goods.
Yeah, he's playing. It's all downhill from here.
He's old and bad.
Throwing Draisaitl and
then we're talking.
Yeah. Did you see the Blue Lions today?
I mean, they need a goalie and defense. I mean,
there you go.
That's how you want to stand the cup.
Ellen K with a good question. Has Mrazek ever not been the 4-star when he plays and isn't 1, 2, or 3? I think every time he's been nominated,
I'll have to go back and look.
He has won 4-star of the game.
Steven, don't you?
I'm thinking about it, and I feel like I think he's right.
Yeah,
that's a pretty fair. That's a pretty fair bet.
You have a spreadsheet, right, on who wins every night.
Yeah, that's right after I make that Tankathon simulator.
Hey, it worked.
Yeah,
so never.
It worked. Yeah, you just made the one that the NHL used.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. You're welcome.
A little note here from Sportsnet. Connor Bedard joins Jonathan Toews as the only teenagers in Blackhawks history to score 5 goals in their first 10 NHL games.
That guy had a pretty good career.
That's interesting.
Cool. That's quite the stat to dig up.
It is, but I'll take it because that's good.
Yeah. You had me sweating when you said Connor Bedard joins Jonathan Toews. I was like, oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
What news do we have here?
They both had kale for lunch.
All right.
Probably did.
We got to assign the Tron helmet, as somebody called it in the chat. But first, let's do Connor's Corner.
Yeah. Speaking of Connor.
Connor Bedard ends the game with a goal on 2 shots, another shot attempt, a block shot, took a penalty, played 16-19 of ice time, including a second on the team leading 2:03 of power play time among forwards. The leader for power play time, Corey Perry with 2:18 of power play time.
Takes him longer to get to the bench.
There's Connor's Corner, a great goal, a great celebration. There it is right there on your screen. Are you not entertained? And I really want to see,
I would love that.
If we can get the right angle on that celebration, a cherubic Bedard with like maybe a halo or some wings behind him.
Is that the multicolored cube that you spin around? Cherubic?
No, that's a Rubik's Cube. Cherubic would be like a cherub.
I know.
All right,
we can work on something.
A couple of things that didn't. Well, one of them popped into the score sheet on Bedard's night, though. That taking that block shot,
he got smoked on that shot,
right in the foot.
I mean, you want to talk about an entire arena just going,
yeah.
And he got up. It looked like he got it like either right below the knee or in the back of the knee.
Yeah,
not great, but he didn't miss a shift. And then Luce Rainen, the Panthers in the second period. Panthers defenseman kind of laid into him as he was going to the net, and he turned around and two hands shoved him right to the face. And then they went back behind the net, and he finished a check on him, and then what did he do? He came around the net and stood and was some net front present and battled in front of the net with another defenseman. This kid is not backing down from anybody. So he's got some feistiness.
Love to see him.
He's got, he's going to play defense. I mean, yeah, the offense is why he was drafted #1, and it's why people are paying money for his jersey and to come down to the game. But he's a complete player, and the other aspects of his game are only going to get better. It's going to be so much fun to watch.
Yeah, love to see that competitiveness, the willingness to get into battles, and for as much as people tried to downplay him and say, "Oh, he's too undersized to succeed in the NHL." Like, not at all. That was never a concern, and he's out here, getting physical, talking about, the most physical practice that the Blackhawks had all season a couple of days ago. He said, that's the best practice I've had since being here, and talking about wanting to, be in those more battle-y practices to be able to prepare for the more physical games and be able to engage physically that way. That's something that, not many guys who come in to the league, that their MO is to be point producers, to be flashy offensive creators, shooters, scorers, playmakers, all those things. Their calling card is not to get into battles and be physical. But if Bedard is willing to do that, and it doesn't detriment his game in any way, which I think it clearly didn't tonight, to be able to do that, and then also create some offense, score a goal. I mean, there's nothing much more you can want out of that, especially as a kid 10 games into his NHL career.
All right, before we give Greg his helmet that he deserves, a couple other random stats. In their last 5 games, the San Jose Sharks have been outscored 32-4.
They're terrible.
They're losing 10-2.
Hey, they scored twice. It's better than the last game.
With 8 minutes to go in the third period against Pittsburgh. Yeah. The game they played Thursday, they lost 10-1. They've given up 20 goals
in
their last two games.
And there's still 6 minutes left in the third period.
Yes.
And Erik Karlsson does not have any one of those goals. So Zaitsev still has one fewer goal than Erik Karlsson this year.
That's crazy. The Sharks are they're now going to be 0-10-1 in their first 11 games to start the season, and they've scored 12 goals total.
They might be the worst team in history.
They're definitely going for it. There needs to be an investigation.
That is an 8-point pace for the regular season. 8-point pace for the regular season.
It's not good.
And
you know what?
They have to win a game eventually, but they're on pace to not do that.
They have 12 goals this year.
I hope they finish with 11 points and pick third.
I mean,
and the Blackhawks get
in the lottery system, you could go 0-82 and only have a 25% chance at the top overall pick.
Yeah.
I mean, they're trying to, I mean, they can't go 0-82. They can go 0-81-1, but Jesus.
My guy Hurdle has 6 assists on the 12 goals. Get him out of there. Trade him to Chicago. Give me some Teenage Mutant Ninja Hurdle.
That is
I agree.
Crazy.
I'm done with that. All right, here's another random one.
Erik Karlsson won the Norris on that team last year with 101 points. What the fuck?
God.
Oh my God.
This is from Bob Grove, retweeted by Mark Lazarus. This has nothing to do with the Hawks directly, but you thought the Taves Bedard one was random?
Yes.
Vinny Hinostroza is the 67th player in Penguins history to score a goal in his first game with the team. The last 2 have both come against San Jose, as Kasper Bjorkqvist also did this versus the Sharks on January 2nd, 2022. So there is your random hockey fact.
Penguins legend, Kasper
Bjorkqvist. I love that name. That's like you throw that into a hockey generator.
I was going to say, that's an auto-generated name on NHL 24.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Fine. Let's give Greg his helmet as I fall into last place again.
I believe that's 2 in a row, boys.
That is the third win of the year.
No longer in last place. It's
for Greg, as he picks Taylor Hall, who had the game-winning goal. I had Connor Bedard, and had that goal just trickled past a little more past Mrazek, I would have won. But, ifs and nuts, whatever.
Yeah. Good for Taylor Hall.
I will say, though, this was, of the 10 Hoosier Hawks we've done in the regular season, this was, I think, the most competitive of the regular season.
We all had a point.
Each one of our guys did something.
Yes. That rarely ever happens.
Which is good.
We actually did good at this game for once.
We all get to go home.
Yeah, good job.
Cool.
I pick first again tomorrow.
I wonder who you're going to pick.
I'm not taking
No,
Bedard again.
you can't take him 2 games in a row, even if you don't win. So you got to get creative.
I'm taking our Pudwack tomorrow. Got a feeling.
I got
a feeling.
It was funny on
you're
the.
not going to ride the Nikita Zaitsev wave.
He might not even play tomorrow.
Who knows?
Got to play.
Oh, go to that comment about Foco. I want to mention that too.
Oh, we have a read about Foco.
Windy City Hockey.
I was saving.
Yeah.
Want to do the read?
Sure. Who's doing it today? Is it me?
I'm doing it.
Do it.
Hey, Foco, they're great. They have bobbleheads, and now they have 2 options for bobbleheads for Connor Bedard and Blackhawks fans. Yes, not only do they have the Connor Bedard bobblehead on his own, but just released today is the Connor Bedard and Stan Nikita double bobblehead from the past to the future. Check out our friends at Foco. That's fo.co.com. And you can get yourself a Connor Bedard bobblehead, or you can get yourself a Connor Bedard and Stan Nikita bobblehead, and anything else you want, Blackhawks centric memorabilia, collectibles, merchandise, all that stuff, bobbleheads, hoodies, shoes, signs, anything in between, you can get it from Foco. They have everything you need to get your football season, hockey season, basketball season, baseball off season, whatever you want. Get you fitted out, get you looking good. And what's really cool, and what I hope one day is sitting on this table in Studio B, is the Stan Nikita Connor Bedard dual bobblehead, because Stan Nikita is in black and white.
That's so cool.
That is so cool. You see it on our screen here from Foco. It's awesome. Stan Nikita looks like Stan Nikita. Connor Bedard kind of looks like Connor Bedard. But I love the black and white, the contrast. I think if I'm looking at it correctly, that's the old Chicago Stadium behind Nikita in the little backdrop there. It's really cool. So yeah, if you're getting yourself in the mood for some bobbleheads, check out Foco. When you do, you can click the link in the description below, or again, go to foco.com. And for all non-presale items, as those bobbleheads are, use the promo code CHGO and you are going to get 10% off your order. Again, that is foco.com. Check them out.
By the way, that is a limited edition of only 144 bobbleheads.
And so we've already purchased 100 of them.
Order one. Yeah, do it now.
Get in.
Yes. Shopping at Foco is a stress-free experience. But you know what I hate? One of the worst things in the world, Jay, I know you probably relate to this a little more.
Diarrhea.
Jesus Christ. Ticket stress.
Oh,
Ticket
yeah,
stress
that too.
is far worse than
that
diarrhea.
can lead to diarrhea sometimes.
Ticket stress is worse than diarrhea, because at least there's medicine for diarrhea. There's no medicine for ticket stress, except our friends at Game Time could be your ticket stress medicine. You shouldn't have to worry when you're buying tickets to your next big event. Game Time is fast and easy to buy your tickets for all sporting events, music, comedy, and theater events near you, with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seats, and their best price guarantee. Whoops. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets.
You're almost home. You can do it.
We have to do a show tomorrow.
I like that all of our heads jumped up in the studio.
Well, whatever.
That's right. Give it your best effort.
The helmet's tight. Leave him alone.
Yeah, it cuts off the circulation.
Barely hanging on.
It is. It's the helmet, and now all I'm thinking about is breast. Take the guest work out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code CHGO for 20% off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code CHGO for $20 off. Maybe flash the app. Maybe they give you another $5 off. Download Game Time today.
It's worth a try.
Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
All right, before we wrap up, I'm looking at Foco right now. The Connor Bedard bobblehead we showed you earlier this year is already sold out. Oof. There's another one that doesn't even have an image yet. It just says Connor Bedard, Blackhawks' first career goal bobblehead, and it's like just a blank,
like a silhouette.
Graphic silhouette sold out already.
That's cool.
If you want this Nikita and Bedard bobblehead, do it today.
Sold out without even an image.
There's not even an image.
It could be Bedard just sitting on the toilet. You never even know.
Well,
speaking of toilets, this show gone straight down.
Yes. Hey, guess what? We're going to do it again tomorrow.
Yeah.
So thank you, everybody, for being with us. I know we held you up a little bit, but I think it was worth it. Thanks to everybody that came out to our takeover. Such a great time. Thanks to the Barn Hockey Bar for hosting us. Thanks to all the great people at Fifth Third Arena who put up with us and made it just a really unforgettable experience. Again, for a place that we spend probably 4 or 5 days a week at, we really got to see it in a different light today. It was very, very cool.
A lot of fun.
So if you can get to one of those Fifth Third game experiences, do it. And thanks to Steven for running the show. Thanks to Stacy for hanging out with us tonight. And we'll be back tomorrow after Hawks and Devils. No Jack Hughes, so that is a nice break for the Blackhawks.
You're saying there's a chance.
All right, we'll talk to everybody tomorrow. Smash that like button on your way out if you have not. See you tomorrow on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
Y'all silly like the mayor.